Hello and good morning. It's just gone 6:30 in the morning. The caffeine is in my system and we have a 3-hour commute up north to see the new Volkswagen Tyron, and I'm taking you with me in this, the Toyota Yaris, GR Yaris more specifically, the most hardcore Yaris to date. Now this has a Spanish gearbox, so it could go one of two ways. Either I'm going to absolutely love it, we're going to have a blast, or the motorway is going to do what the motorways do very well, and I'm going to get stuck in traffic, at which point I'll probably loathe it. Let's head to Worcester.
After 3 hours and 150 miles, I arrived at the 1,500-acre farm, which hosts weddings, events and seasonal dining. After a quick briefing, note-taking and light breakfast, it was time to see the Tyron. Placed between the Tiguan and the Touareg, VW promised an SUV that combines best-in-class comfort, space and practicality levels. From premium upholstery, triple insulated glass and advanced running gear with various driving modes, to its flexibility of seating 7 people. This latest edition helps plug the important gap in the SUV lineup at VW. Today we'll get up close and personal with the car, take a look at its interior, as well as go for a quick drive.
Now, there is a hybrid version of the Tyron available, which is the one that I'm keen to get my hands on or bum into. It has a claimed range of 75 miles on EV alone. Now, I'm an advocate for hybrids, so that is the one that I'm going to try and drive today. Subject to the pricing, that's likely to be the pick of the bunch, especially in the UK. So that is the one that I'm looking forward to driving and giving you guys my first impressions on. Let's go. There's a grey one, white one, and this rather fetching purple. I actually quite like it. Would I have it in purple? I'm not sure, but it's nice to look at.
Whilst I was ogling at the different colours on display, others were experimenting with some witchcraft. I grabbed the keys to my chosen model and tuned the navigation for a scenic route along the local area. After a few miles, I pulled over to discuss the design.
Design-wise, it's unmistakably a Volkswagen. Now, I'm going to tap into some lazy journalism here and say that it's a stretched out, beefed up version of the Tiguan, which we saw last year. However, with a few key differences, which I'll get into in just a few moments. In the UK, there'll be 5 trim levels available. Here at the press launch, we have the Elegance, and amongst the eagle-eyed viewer, you'll notice that this particular car has the R badge, this of course being the R line.
The Tyron adds more passenger and luggage space, more comfort, luxury and style, and more of the latest technologies. Dimensions emphasize the Tyron's generous cabin space and supreme flexibility. It measures almost 4.8 meters long and at least 1.8 meters wide, excluding the mirrors, and over 1.6 meters tall, with a wheelbase of almost 2.8 meters.
Now, if we take a look at the side profile of the Tyron, you'll notice that the rear quarter is a little bit more elongated, a little bit more stretched out. It's more of an estate than it is an SUV, and for good reason, because the Tyron is available as a 7-seater. Not this particular one, because this is the plug-in hybrid, and where you would normally put the kids which you least like in the rear bench is where the batteries live. So in the case of the hybrid, what you lose in seat numbers, you gain in volume when it comes to practicality in the boot. That extra bit of length serves as function over form, approximately 30 centimeters longer than the Tiguan. Let's take a look inside.
Boot space, get ready to make some notes. This version offers 705 litres or 850 litres in the 7-seat version, with the third row of seats folded down. When all 7 seats are in use, the Tyron still offers a respectable 345 litres of boot space, and with all the rear seats folded, the 7-seater version manages a huge 1,905 litres of load area.
Front, wait, what? What's going on? Volume. We have a map in Crumpleberry. There's a shorter route and a longer route, which we'll get to later. Okay. We are in the cabin of the Tyron. The cabin is the cabin from the Tiguan, but 25% more. We'll start with the steering wheel. Physical buttons have made a very welcome comeback. Again, this is a topic we covered in the Tiguan video. The gear selector is up here. relatively intuitive. I have no qualms with that. And then we've got our indicator and various other controls such as our windscreen wipers over here. We have a digital cockpit with various different options to customize it just to your taste, with a whole array of information such as your speed, your rev counter, how much electric range, how much petrol range you have, and various other information such as the time and the temperature. There are two sizes available when it comes to the infotainment screen. This one is the larger of the two, coming in at 15 inches. The standard screen is 12.9 inches. We have a fixed permanent position for your HVAC controls. You've got this touch sensitive shifter here, so you can just simply swipe your finger to go colder or warmer. You've got your heated seat settings just here, not just for yourself but your passenger as well. And this one actually comes with some massaging seats as well, so after the 3-hour commute that I endured on my way up here, that is something I might take advantage of on our drive. In between the HVAC controls, you've got your volume slider, for lack of a better word, so you can just simply swipe your finger left or right to turn your volume up or down. And you've also got your control dial here, which is very intuitive to use actually, and very tactile, so I am personally a fan of that. Failing that, you've got physical buttons on the steering wheel as well. You've got 2 wireless charge pads down here, so you and the passenger can both wirelessly recharge your phones, as well as 2 USB Type-C ports, a couple of cup holders, and a little bit of storage, along with a 12-volt socket in the armrest over here. You've got a handy little drawer just down here. We can put your odd bits and bobs. The room in the door bins is very generous, as is the one that you find in your glove box. So plenty of storage solutions for you and the family. We've got a mixed use of materials in here, from what I assume to be faux leather, lots of Alcantara on the seats, a little bit on the dashboard, as well as the door cards. We've got some blue details, this being the R line. We've got some badging here just on the seats as well. And there's a nice modern and airy feel in here, helped by the rather quite large panoramic glass sunroof, which does come with a sun blind. I'll figure out how, oh, there we go. You can immediately tell the driving position's quite upright in here, as you would expect in an SUV, and the visibility seems to be very impressive as well. The A-pillars especially don't seem to be very girthy and therefore not intrusive to your view. So it has all the makings of a sensible and safe Volkswagen. Why don't we find out how it drives? Meh. Hello. It's sheep. What a life.
This particular press car was finished off in pure white and had the 20-inch wheels, along with a few cost options such as the comfort pack, consisting of keyless entry and the powered tailgate with pedal activation, the driver assistance package, HD matrix LED headlights, infotainment package plus, and a pan roof over and above the standard equipment.
Right, off we go. Just make sure our mirrors are good. Excellent. And immediately, the thing that you're hoping for it to be is, in that you have a raked windscreen, you have a very high and upright driving position. As I mentioned earlier, the visibility is great. And I can very quickly draw comparisons to something like a Defender, in that you can quite clearly see each corner of the car, because you can see quite a lot of the bonnet from where I'm sitting. And consequently, that makes the vehicle very easy to place, especially on narrow roads like the ones that we're driving on today. Now, this particular car is powered by a 1.5 litre 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, which develops around 200 brake horsepower. There is a more powerful variant available, which has circa 260 brake horsepower. It has a 0 to 62 mile an hour time of 8.3 seconds and tops out at 130 miles an hour. Given the nature of the car, it is only available as an auto, so this one has a 6-speed DSG automatic gearbox driving the front wheels. VW claim that the Tyron can achieve somewhere between 70 to 75 miles of electric-only range. In the real world, we know it's likely to be much south of that figure, but the way I see it, if it can get 50 miles on a full charge, for a majority of us who have an average commute of 20 miles a day, it'll be more than enough to do a couple of days worth of commuting in electric alone. And as some of you know, it's a topic that I touch on quite frequently in my videos. If you have a charge point at home, and you should have a charge point at home, it means that when you get home from work, you can simply plug it in, go to bed, and wake up the following morning with a full battery. Benefits to all this, of course, means less visits to petrol stations, and as well, if you do want to venture out on a longer journey with your family, you have a 1.5 litre petrol engine that you can rely on. But of course, the magic happens when the internal combustion engine and the electric motors work in tandem. Now, if you look at the PDF document supplied along with this car, it claims about 614 miles to the gallon, I think it was. I'll put it up on the screen. Now, again, you and I know in the real world, those numbers are not going to be achievable. However, once you know how the car works and how to squeeze the best efficiency out of it, you can achieve some really impressive figures. If a charging point may be an issue for you, there is a mild hybrid variant, as well as a couple of petrol and even a diesel variant available. This particular car, with the options that it has, is a little over £53,500, and as I mentioned before, if I had to hazard a guess, this would be the pick of the bunch. In terms of comfort levels, well, I'm currently having a Waves massage. Your front passenger can also have one. It is 14.
Right, 600 yards onto the A443.
I've not figured out how to mute him yet. So, as I was saying, it's 14 degrees outside, so I'm not gonna use the heated seats, but the climate control is set to 20 degrees. I'm having a massage. All is well in the world. As for the seats, they're very comfortable. They're not supportive in the way some other cars might be, where you feel like they're hugging you, but it's not that sort of car. Just enough give, if you like, in the seats to really find the sweet spot and settle in for your drive. As for the ride, it's everything that you would want in an SUV, and in fact it's everything more than what I was expecting. It rides the road beautifully, so smooth, so supple, and deals with the undulations and the changes in directions really impressively actually. When you see the Tyron in the flesh, it can feel a bit overwhelming for some because it's quite long, it being a 7-seater, not this particular one, and it looks quite big, but as soon as you get into it, Volkswagen have found a way for the car to shrink around you, and as I said, even driving on these tight, narrow roads, it's fairly easy. The steering has a lovely weight to it. It's really responsive to your input, and it has the quality that you really look for when driving in the UK, in that it does very well at keeping all the nasty cracks and the imperfections on the road, so you don't feel that coming through the steering wheel. Last year, when I drove the Tiguan, I spoke about how that could be a potential candidate to replace our GLC when the lease is up. However, on reflection, I think the Tiguan is probably a bit too small for what we'd like, what we'd want. Probably not so what we need, but what our heart desires. It's maybe a bit too small. If you feel cars like the Touareg, the BMW X5, Range Rover Sport is too big for what you want or need, then I guess the Tyron is the plug for that gap. And then it got me thinking, oh, would the Tyron make a good replacement to the GLC? And the answer is yes, but there's 7-seaters, and I thought, well, that's overkill. There's 3 of us in the family. And then I find out the hybrid, which is the one that I would choose, I would have, is only a 5-seater with a ginormous boot space. As for first impressions, it's not going to set your world alight in terms of excitement or performance. It's not that way inclined, but the standout features for me have been the comfort levels. It is hugely comfortable in here. There's acres of space in here, like acres. I mean, look at all this room for activities. Cattle grid. It's quiet. We know the rise in popularity when it comes to SUVs, so it makes absolute sense for Volkswagen to put this final piece into their SUV lineup. That makes 6 now in terms of combustion engine and or hybrid variants when it comes to their SUV range outside of the ID stuff. So that makes extra small, small, medium, medium large, large, and extra large. If you're in the market for an SUV and you can't find one at VW, this is not including the ID stuff. Well, they probably don't make them. As for the rear, I mean, wow. Look at this headroom. Look at this knee room. Leg space. Oh, yeah. I mean, driving here in the Yaris was fun, but going back in this would be better. Got somewhere to put your phone. That's cool. This one has something called the winter pack, I believe, which gives your rear passengers heated seats for the left and the right, obviously not the middle, as well as some sun blinds. So if, like me, you have a toddler that likes to moan about the sun being in his face, you don't have to spend 20 quid at John Lewis for him to then just throw away. It's lovely back here. Oh yeah. Well done, Volkswagen. Brilliant. Given all the qualities that the Tyron has, or ones that I experienced in this first impressions video, there's no doubt in my mind that it's going to be a big hitter. Not just in the UK, but the rest of Europe too. That's it for this video. If you want to check out our last video on the Renault 5, I'll link that up on the screen. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. We've got the video on the Toyota GR Yaris coming soon. And as well, we'll try and get one of these on a slightly longer term to do an in-depth review. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.